Hi and welcome back to the channel. It's true, my name is Norf, and this video is a little bit of an experiment. Believe it or not, I've only been on the YouTube platform for 7 months. And in this video, I want to take you through what my workflow is to create my YouTube videos. The experiment part of this video is that in 7 months' time, let's mark the time, that will be 10th of January 2022, I want to take us, you and me, back through what that process looked like and whether my process for creating my content has changed. So mark that time in your diaries, 10th of January 2022 on the channel. You and I are going to look back and see, has Norf's process changed? I'm sure you'll agree it'll be pretty interesting to look back to see how my process has changed, what things have been tweaked, what things I've changed, what things I've updated, what things I've dropped. So you and I are going to take that journey and we'll look at that on the 10th of January 2022. Right, that's in the future. Let's get back to today. So in this video, I'm going to take you through my current process of how I create content for YouTube. So as is customary, if you're ready, let's get started. The first step in my process to create really great content for my channel is by being in a positive mindset. Passion, curiosity, inspiration, and perspective are the elements that I use to start creating really great content. Right now, I'm a solo creator. I'm a baby channel, if you will. I'm not even walking, let alone crawling yet. But I'm still learning, and that's the point. Continuous learning. I'll leave a link to a couple of videos just up here of some of the YouTubers and some of the books that have inspired me on my journey so far. There are some days where I really just cannot get inspiration. So on those days, I go off and do something else. But there are times when all of a sudden, ding, you get a light bulb moment and something comes to fruition. An idea comes. And that is point number 2. I then start with the idea. I'll workshop the idea in my mind and I'll think about what it could look like, what my perspective of looking at that idea could transpire and open up and look like. With that idea has to come a sense of value. Is it going to be valuable? Is the content that I'm going to create be valuable for you? The third step in my creation process is then research. I'll start with, firstly, what do I know? I'll then move on to, what do I need to know to drive value into that idea so I can create a really good video or some really great content? Of course, I might jump back to the first point, which was passion, curiosity, inspiration, and perspective. I'll then go back to the research phase. So bouncing around between the first, second, and third stages, I could be in that for a couple of hours up to a couple of days. It just depends. The fourth step in my creation process, and you'll know this as well as I do, is I start to map it out. My weapons of mass construction are paper and a pencil. And I'll start with those two. I'll then start to use a technique that you know I love, which is mind mapping. It is such a powerful tool to generate ideas. I'll be adding elements, scratching elements out in that mind map to crystallize what that video is going to look like, way before I've picked up a camera or turned on my microphone. During that phase, I'll have a rough idea in my head of how long the video needs to be, and frankly, it needs to be as long as it needs to be. But also in that, I want to look at scripting. I'll be looking at different shots that I want to take. I'll be thinking about A-roll, B-roll, what the sound design is going to look like. All of those things will go down on paper. Steps 2, 3, and 4 in my process will all revolve around pencil and paper. It does get a little bit challenging because I do like to use loose leaf paper, but then sometimes I can't figure out where I've actually put the bits of paper. But that's something that I've got to work out. Being organized, yeah. I need to take a lesson on that. What do you think? Step 4 and step 5 tend to work together. The mapping out and then the refining of what that map looks like. What journey am I going to take you through? All of that is done using pencil and paper. I may go through 1, 2, or maybe 3 iterations of what I'm actually going to create before I turn on my camera or before I plug in my microphone. Then comes that mathematical equation that we've often talked about on the channel. P equals plus P. Practice equals positive progress. In that refining stage where I'll practice and refine, I'll get down to exactly what I want it to look like. That, of course, will take a certain amount of time. And a little bit like good food, seasoning takes time. Finally, we get to step 6, which is actually preparing to record. So I'll set up my camera, I'll plug in my microphone, I'll turn my lights on, and I'll get my space ready so I can record. I'll show you some of the gear that I use in another video. The prep you will not have seen before I started recording was that I needed a haircut, I had to shave, because honestly, there was all sorts of chaos going on up here. For some videos, I'll choose to use a teleprompter, but I'll let you into a little secret. All the videos that I've created so far on the channel, I haven't used a teleprompter. But I'll create another video and I'll talk about the benefits and some of the advantages of using a teleprompter. Step 7 is then when all the footage that I've captured goes into the edit suite. My current choice of nonlinear video editor is Adobe Premiere Pro. I'll also use Adobe Audition to process any music and sound that I want in my video. I've realized that I actually really enjoy editing. It's something that I used to do, something I cut my teeth on way back in the day when I used to edit 1/4-inch tape when I was training to be a radio presenter. So using some of those concepts that I learned back in the day to edit does bring a further sense of creativity and enjoyment. And then step 8 is simply finishing, putting those last little touches to the video. Things like color correcting, adding music, making sure that the audio levels are good, capturing a picture for my thumbnail. All of those things go into step 8. And that's it. That's broadly my 8-step process of how I create videos for YouTube. The first step in my process to create great YouTube content is to start with a positive mindset. My second step is then the idea. The third step is research. What is it I know? What is it I need to know? Then I grab my weapons of mass creation and start a mind map. Step 5 is then to practice and refine that idea using the mind map. Once I've got everything crystallized, I then move to step 6, which is the recording. Once I've recorded everything I need, I move into step 7, which is editing. Step 8 is then putting the finishing touches to my content. I'd love to know what your process is. Do you spend time with pencil and paper? Is all of your development processing all done electronic? I would love to know. Please do leave me a comment. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. As you know, I'm a big fan of the number 3. So if you would, please do 3 things for me. If you like the content, please do give me a thumbs up. Also remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on when I upload brand new content to the channel. Again, thank you for choosing to spend your time here, and I'll see you next time.